Idle MMO is a brand new Idle MMORPG expected later this summer, with testing opening up soon. With its unique blend of immersive gameplay mechanics and idle gaming concepts, Idle MMO aims to improve upon the idle gaming and MMO genre. So what should you expect as a new and hopeful Idle MMO player? Idle MMO promises to deliver an amazing gaming experience by combining the addictive nature of idle games with the vast world map and player interactions found in traditional MMOs. With a custom-made world map, the game allows players to explore uncharted territories, battle enemies, and join fellow players to defeat world bosses. Now, the major aspect or the core aspect of Idle MMO is its idle mechanics. They allow players to progress even while offline, which we see in most traditional idle RPGs. By strategically allocating resources and assigning tasks to alt characters under one account, which is a huge quality of life for players who grind the shit out of these games, players can continue to develop their characters, gather resources, and strengthen their abilities. This unique blend of idle gameplay and traditional MMO elements ensures progress even during brief gaming sessions or when players are away. The devs have said they aim to diverge from the set and forget it gameplay loop found in idle RPGs and other MMOs. They intend to make the game more playable than most other idle games, which is pretty cool. It's not just going to be a app on my phone that I forget about within, an hour, hopefully. So another aspect of Idle MMO is the character progression. It provides a customization option to cater to the player's diverse preferences. Players can create unique characters by selecting from various classes, developing skills, and specializing in 8 attributes. As characters progress, players can unlock new class-specific talents and upgrade equipment to enhance their builds. The known classes right now are Warrior, Rogue, and Ranger, with more supposedly planned. Each class has limitations with skills and equipables. And an example of this is that the Rogue class can equip 2 daggers, but they can't use a bow or a sword. So that's pretty cool too. I would say it's pretty unique for like an idle, MMO or RPG. Now the 8 attributes are strength, defense, speed, dex, crit chance, crit damage, attack power, protection, and movement speed. And more movement speed later. It's different than speed, and you'll see why. And another aspect of Idle MMO is the world map, which has been mentioned earlier. And the developers said that Idle MMO will feature its own custom-made map with different locations that you can travel to. The locations unlock as you level up, and each location will contain different materials that you can gather, world bosses to encounter, and enemies to meet. And also, special locations on the world map will have artwork tied to them to, give more depth to these locations. And while you're scooting and looting around the world map, there will be hunting and battling. The dev said that before battling an enemy, one must hunt it. The time it takes to hunt an enemy depends on your character's movement speed. As mentioned earlier, you can increase your character's movement speed by equipping special items and using mounts. So there you go, movement speed. It's going to be probably one of the most important attributes in the game, especially if you're going to be PvEing and you're going to be killing mobs, especially for their mats. Interesting stuff. There's your idle mechanic right there, with the whole movement speed and the time it takes to actually affect a kill. Now, moving on to another aspect, we have forging. The dev said that the forge allows you to craft your own items using the materials you have acquired from skills and enemy drops. Forging will be a time sink and is comparable to other idle RPG style games. You can, of course, decrease the time to forge items by using special items. And then another aspect to this is the items you forge, they can be upgraded with upgrade stones to increase their power. So a little more depth there with the whole crafting, forging aspect of Idle MMO. Now, let's move on to the MMO aspects of Idle MMO. most MMORPG aspects of IdleMMO will not be available upon release. Additionally, the only available communication will be the dedicated Discord server that's linked down below in the description, which is very interesting for a game with MMO in the name. For now, what is available under MMO aspects are world bosses and player markets. What's planned eventually are guilds, PvP, parties, and trading with other players. And what's unknown, the chat features, again, just going to be the Discord server for now. Global chat or general chat, what have you, is still up in the air. And also friends lists. There's a lot of screens available within the Discord through our website as well, but I haven't seen a screenshot of a friends list yet. So not that it's not, I'm not saying it's not there, but I haven't seen it, and it's up in there for me. And let's move on to probably the most touchy subject when it comes to gaming, when it comes to MMOs, when it comes to casual games, especially, is the monetization aspect, especially for IdleMMO. So if and when you do read the official blog post announcing this game, or if you've come through our blog posts and videos, you will have learned that there's a free battle pass to progress through in the game that unlocks, the unlocks include in-game currencies, they're called tokens right now, some skins, and other unlocks that are to be determined or announced. And then there's also a membership. And the devs say they want to make it, akin to how RuneScape does their membership. They also say there will be a subscription and tokens, as seen in the Battle Pass screenshot that you'll see floating around here. Subs can be sold in-game through the market, and tokens will be mainly used for things like skins and increasing idle time. So think Idle Clans, which is like a Melvar Idle knockoff, where you have like a base amount of offline time to walk away from the game and still progress. It'll be in here too, where you can increase the amount of time you can be idle for and still, I don't know, forge, click mats, whatever the loop is. And there is no energy system confirmed. So Galahad Creative, they have another game called SimpleMMO, and that's pretty much what the game hinges on. You need energy to do PvP, to do PvE, and, basically complete your gameplay loop. Now, after that overview, very quick, mind you, hopefully it was informal or informational, excuse me, definitely not, no, it was kind of informal, but you might have some questions that you're asking yourself. I know I had some questions as I went over the blog posts and the announcement from Galahad Creative about IdleMMO. And these are three questions I had that immediately popped to my mind. And the first one is, does the IdleMMO RPG and RPG space need another idle game? And I believe it does. I personally believe MMO players are transient in nature. We're like freaking sharks, okay? We find games, we devour them, and we move on to the next. And maybe the game we just got done devouring has, an expansion or DLC, etc. Then we just kind of like loop back to it, and we keep going through the same games or a new release, etc. Yeah, it's especially true, at least I believe, that we're sharks with the text and browser-based MMO players, including mobile. As a former traditional MMO RPG player, I don't know, do we have a nickname for that? Like TMMO or something? Like, it's a lot to say. But I welcome more browser, mobile, and idle MMOs to the table so that I can, continue to casually, that's an important word here, casually scratch that MMO itch without having to dive back into like New World or WoW Hardcore or Final Fantasy or, all the games slated to release in the future, whenever that is, because we all know MMOs take forever and sometimes they don't release at all. And the next question, okay, this one wasn't me personally, but I kind of anticipated this one, and it's, who is Galahad Creative? They're responsible for multiple apps, But most importantly, they're responsible for SimpleMMO, which is a text-based MMORPG for browser and mobile. So SimpleMMO has changed over the years and evolved into a highly respectable MMORPG, depending on who you talk to, with a large dedicated community. That's fact, including pixel artists, which is a whole nother beast on its own. Love them and you hate them, right? With good and subjectively bad updates, Mike, who is the developer of SimpleMMO and the co-developer of IdleMMO, created a thoroughly enjoyable mobile and browser MMO experience. And that's a great sign and should, at least in my opinion, should be one of the main factors for trying IdleMMO, especially since Mike has teamed up with Yomu, who is a longtime player of Simple, but another longtime coder and has done amazing work coding, and maintaining apps within like SimpleMMO's ecosystem or that complement the game, and of course his personal projects. He also has helped us, CouchCat, with cool dashboards that we use for our SimpleMMO content. And he just does amazing code work. So yeah, that for me, that's a huge driving factor to try IdleMMO. Mike and Yomo, they both make polished products, and together, I can only hope IdleMMO is going to be one of those. And the third question is, are there any concerns? And yeah, there's two immediate concerns with IdleMMO, at least for me, right off the bat. And one, that's the free battle pass, because free battle passes, as we can see with bigger games like Call of Duty, which is ridiculous, by the way, and Battlefield, to an extent, like the skips, the tier skips, excuse me. Battle passes, free or not, invite premium versions to eventually exist within the game. And please let me know in the comments, where have you seen this? But I don't think I've ever seen a battle pass and in like an Idle MMO or an Idle RPG. Maybe I haven't played enough of them. I'm generally playing random stuff I discover through the App Store. I don't, and maybe Steam, but yeah, let me know down in the comments if one exists, because I want to take a closer look at this and how they, how successful are they? But to be fair, this concern about the free battle pass and the premium version, that was all before, the developers within the Discord essentially confirmed that there's memberships and, a subscription essentially to IdleMMO and what that would look like. And then also, I don't know, how bad could a battle pass be for an idle game that doesn't have an energy point system, unless again they severely handicap us with time, because time management is a huge thing with idle games, and IdleMMO is making a big deal of time as well. So yeah, let me know. Anyway, the second concern is a big one for MMO players, at least for me, and that is how the community is expected to not only communicate but develop. So at the get-go, IdleMMO, won't have a global chat, and all communication will be within the IdleMMO Discord server. Again, link down below in the description. Discord, I'll level with you. Discord is pretty much second nature at this point. These days, when it comes to playing multiplayer games, finding other players, and like just getting further embedded within a community within a game. SimpleMMO, Galahad's other game that was briefly mentioned earlier, has in-game chat features, an official Discord server, plus all the guild servers and community servers like a marketplace, auction house, artists, all that stuff. All that stuff has existed or came into existence because of SimpleMMO. So there's a lot of options there, and as a player, I like those options, especially, when we know there are players who don't touch Discord and vice versa, who don't touch in-game chat features. However, shockingly enough, if you go by numbers, a giant portion of SimpleMMO's player base doesn't use, they don't touch any chat feature. So who knows what kind of impact this would have, on the community growth and involvement of IdleMMO. I don't know. I don't know. But that's my last question. Those are my three concerns with IdleMMO. Otherwise, it's looking up to shape up to be an interesting game within the IdleMMO /RPG genre. Only time will tell. the playtest is coming in up around the corner, if supposedly from the devs in the Discord. And to get a chance to playtest this game, go to Galahad Creative's blog post. There's a link there to sign up with your email, and you will be notified by email if you're moving forward to test the game. There is, I believe, 3 phases. We have a blog post detailing this. That will be linked down in the description as well, to get you prepared for the playtest. And good luck to you if you get picked, because I know there's a lot of excitement around this. But that'll do it. That is an overview of Idle MMO, a brand new Idle MMORPG coming out soon. Head on over to the official Idle MMO Discord server, link down below, and check us out. Head on over to the CouchCat Discord server to learn more about the game as well. Like the video, subscribe if you're new here, and head on over to couchcatpod.com for more SimpleMMO and now Idle MMO RPG content.